Hey everybody, it's Evan. I want to talk a little bit about AEA PD Online's work with graphic organizers and infographics. It's a work in progress. It's something that we've just started playing around with, and it's something that we're really excited about as far as possibly expanding in the future. A quick item to talk about: AEA PD Online, as you know, we offer a lot of different things when it comes to online learning. We have a lot of different things that we struggle with. One of the biggest things we struggle with is, simply put, people really don't know what we do. And it's not just teachers and educators in districts. Even AEA people don't understand what we do, and in fact, even our bosses don't always know what we do. We offer online professional development, but what makes up online learning is sometimes difficult for people to understand. One of the things that we've spent a lot of time doing is thinking specifically about the way we explain things. And that has a lot of aspects with it, as items about storytelling and creating a verbal explanation, whether that is an elevator speech or a back of the napkin type of item. One other thing, though, that has come out that's really important is to have a visual that represents it. And so here's one of our items. This is a first draft, and you can see this isn't what you might consider when you think of infographic, and it's not going to be the final product. We're actually going to revise this. What we've done, though, with this is we use this document to go and talk about different formats of online learning and to try to explain that to people who might not understand what it is. This provides kind of a context for the different things that we offer. As you can see, and if you can't see this through the video here, there is a link provided within the lesson that you can click and download this document. It basically takes online learning and it separates it into courses, into modules, and what we call other, and it helps describe what those different things are. And then below that, you can see in the yellow, we identify here are the types of things that fit under these. Those are the services that we offer. When someone says, hey, I want to do this, whatever this might be, online, we have these items at our option, and it takes a little bit of education to explain, well, do you want to do that in a webinar? Do you want to do that in an online lesson? Do you want to create a course, a training, whatever the case may be? This type of graphical representation actually makes a lot of sense. We're used to charts where you go and you identify the categories over here and the topics up at the top. This one is a little bit layered because we show the relationship of the bigger categories to the smaller individual types. The weakness of this is it's not very visual. There's a lot of great information, and this information can be taken by somebody and processed, but it isn't necessarily something that a person can glean really quickly. And so we've got other things that we have in our development that help with that information. Oops, sorry about that little glitch there. My document closed itself when I tried to click on it. Here is our kind of redistribution of this information that we have put together in a handout for teachers. Now again, this kind of processes things a little bit cleaner, takes out a lot of the extra information, kind of boils it down a little bit. It's still very text heavy, it's not extremely visual, so it's not something that somebody can go in and gather pretty quickly, but it provides a lot of information, and it does so with a little bit of a graph. We use our different brands here and icon to help identify what the services that we offer. This is a document I give to administrators and other teachers who are trying to wonder what it is that we offer and how a school can use us. This helps portray our services both in terms of the PD things that we offer as well as services that we offer for schools so they can deliver their own online learning. The next document talks a little bit more about those services we offer for schools, and it really is a plethora of different things. Down here we've got 4 listed, but that doesn't really go in to describe what a school needs to do in order to deliver online learning to their students. It's not just, flip a switch and you've got online learning. There's a process, and we provide services at each of those steps. So we wanted to show a little bit of that, how that process goes, as well as how our services fit. And so we've got another diagram. I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit to get all on one page here. This is a document that we use that kind of highlights the different steps that people use. And we talk about starting with leaders and the things that we can do for that, moving to e-curriculum, moving to technology, moving to teacher development. As we look at infographics, there are different ways you can structure them, and one of them is in a chronology or a linear pathway, and that's basically what this is. It kind of walks them through the steps and shows them what are the items that can be done there. A little bit more visual than the past, but still a lot of text, and it's hard for us to kind of get away from too much text. It's something that people who are really good at design can kind of make that breakthrough. One final thing, and that talks about a brand new system that's coming out here in the fall of 2014, and it's our student personalized learning system. This is going to be a very unique system in how it works with students in online learning. It's going to be something that schools can use. The thing about it is that because it's different and it's unique, we barely understand the concepts and the ideas ourselves, and to try to communicate that without having a system to show people is very difficult. We wanted to create a visual that would help kind of not only portray the whole big picture, kind of a hierarchy of how things sit, but then I'll also show you individual items, some buzzwords and key terms which you might be familiar with and where those appear within the document. So we had, as a team, we came together, we kind of plotted out what some of the different things were, and we had some iterations. And we came up with this diagram. Again, it's very text heavy. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up here if I can. It is this one here. It's a little bit text heavy, but again, it shows not only the hierarchy, but also kind of the logistical structure that we've got. Our system that's coming up is a system that creates a catalog of components. And you can see here's the column of what we consider components. It includes anything from basic resources that are online to events that a school may structure for students, modules, so self-paced lessons, assessments, performance tasks, all the way up to student communities here. And each one of those has a lot of different aspects to them. This is a very simplified idea. The idea then is to say, okay, we've got a catalog of components, and we can create that catalog by either creating them statewide. So we might create some statewide lessons and fill it in there. We might grab some items that are open source or part of a national community as such. Or we can allow districts to upload their own, and local teachers to upload their own lessons and assessments and such into the system. Once they do that, they can actually share with others as part of the big community pot. And so the component catalog continues to grow and grow. Here's how a school uses this for personalized learning. One of the problems when it comes to personalized learning and implementing it in the class is that we're so worried about what it means and how it functions that we don't have any tools to really bring that about in the classroom. What we want to do is create a system that could work with whatever definition personalized learning a school used. So in this case, if a school uses the definition like a teacher might with differentiated instruction or competency-based learning, standard-based grading, pathways for higher learning or personalized plans, regardless of what it is, the person who is setting up this opportunity goes to the catalog and grabs items from this list here. Okay? So, and that's step 2 in this process. And then step 3, once they've put those together in terms of an opportunity, they assign that to a student or a group of students, and the students can go through those on their own. It's a different type of learning than a structured or teacher-paced type of learning that we usually have. Even in Moodle, in an online setting, it's mainly teacher-paced. This allows students to kind of pick and choose and to move forward on things once that opportunity is set. As they go forth, the system collects data. It collects completion reports for the modules, if they attend an event, or if they download items from the personal library. All these things that they do create data, and those data together make up a portfolio for the student. Once the student has done the work, then the school can go and choose what they want to do with it, whether that is to give points as part of a class for activities, or whether it is to give grades, or to have it be a credit recovery type of item, whatever the case may be. So as you can see, the system I described there is a pretty complex system. Lots of parts, a lot of things people are kind of pining to when they're thinking about online learning. They're thinking about, a competency-based learning, or assessments, or whether something's computer generated, or whatever the case is. We wanted to create an infographic that kind of put all those things into place. Again, it's not very visual in terms of images. It's one thing as designers we don't do very well yet, and we hope to get better on, is we don't take and create images that you'll see in a lot of professionally developed ones. But it does do a nice job of structuring those items together, color codes them with a little bit of explanation here. A person can kind of understand and see how some of those pieces that have been floating around in the big picture now, how they relate to each other. So that's just an overview of how we are working with infographics here. We're trying to use those to put together pieces of information to make them better for students. It can be used just this way with students directly. You as a teacher can create an infographic which can portray visually a very complex item. You've seen things like how a bill becomes a law, or the photosynthesis cycle, the water cycle, where things are displayed visually and it shows the relationship. You really have the power within being a teacher to do that with anything in your classroom, and the ability to make visual these complex relationships and such, and taking the abstract and making it tangible is one of the most powerful things a teacher can do, and one of the greatest aids they can do for their lesson. Thanks.